Guess what? 1 in 3 employees says that AI is actually making their workload heavier and not lighter. In fact, in a 2023 study, employees say that AI is actually giving them additional tasks to do. You have to check the AI. You have to make sure the AI is correct. You have to make sure that you have the right prompts to get the output. So today I want to give you 5 risks that leaders must pay attention to when bringing AI into the workforce. Because if you don't pay attention to these things, your productivity and your employee engagement could collapse. Hello, everyone. This is Glen, Guyton, futurist, keynote speaker, talking to you today about AI and the impact that it has on the workforce. Now, I love a good AI. Do you love a good AI? I do. I love generative AI. I use ChatGPT. I use Perplexity. Microsoft now has AI tools. I love AI. But you know what? It can be overwhelming. There's so many different AI platforms now, and our normal traditional computer systems now have some AI function. So how do you use all of these things? How do you take advantage of them with your team to be more productive, right? We want to be more productive in the workplace. We don't want another tool that hinders our employees. We want our employees to be more productive. And many of us think that AI is the way to do this. But I will say, there are a few things that we need to pay attention to. Number 1, there is a hidden danger of workload expansion when it comes to AI. Now, many of you think that AI is going to replace us as human beings. Robots are going to work in the office, going to come into the office, and they're going to take over everything. It's going to be the rise of the machines, Terminator, all of those things. But in actuality, AI and other technological advances do take some of the work that we do as human beings, but it doesn't take all of the work. And so there's a hidden component to AI that actually increases the amount of work that leaders and workers have to do. AI can actually amplify stress and role strain when it's not properly integrated into the workflow. So leaders, if you are assuming that AI replaces work, you are wrong, because it actually adds hidden tasks that we haven't signed up for, or that your people haven't signed up for. There is a learning curve to AI to do it properly. There is the research cost of finding the right AI tool for your environment. There's the checking of AI to ensure that information is sourced properly, that there's no plagiarism or copyright infringement, to ensure that AI is accurate. It's not just about putting in the data, but you have to make sure the analysis is accurate and that it fits your needs. And you have to know where this information is coming from. So you have to check your sources, something that you probably were already doing in your work, but now you have done all of these things with the AI tool that you're using, and now you have to go back and check the AI's work. If you are doing it properly, you have to check the AI's work. And so we're adding additional tasks to the workflow, even though we have a tool that's supposed to be doing some of these things and helping us be more efficient and more effective. And if you're not careful, instead of doing creative, generative work, employees could spend most of their time double checking AI outputs, retraining the AI models, or just fixing the AI errors. Even if you're using it to generate images, music, sometimes things just don't work out. AI, in some sense, is just like another vendor. You double check your vendors, don't you, to ensure that they are giving you the right output for your needs. The same thing needs to happen with AI. You can't just blindly trust it. And also, if you're putting in bad data, you're going to get bad results. Okay, number two, the number two risk as we think about implementing AI in our organizations is burnout from over automation. All right. So burnout from over automation, that can be a problem. Hey, we have this new wonderful tool. Let's just use it for everything. That's what some of us do when we're rolling out strategy. We don't have a strategic plan in mind when doing some of these things. So if you want to keep AI from burning out your team, pair every automation with a conversation about workload. Can you hear me? When you bring in a new tool, talk about the impact that it will have on your employees' workload. What do we have a tendency to do? We have a tendency to start stacking things. Well, since you can do this 50% quicker, I'm going to give you 100% more work, right? I'm going to give you additional tasks. Oh, we can fire someone in this department because we have this AI tool. So that means fewer people. So if a crisis happens, or if we need to change our strategy, now we have less human resources to execute that plan. And so we can overly depend on AI and not use it in conjunction with a long-term strategy. So here's a practical tip for you. Before deploying AI, run a quick scan with your employees. What tasks, this is the question to ask, what tasks does this tool replace, and what new ones might be created? All right. So we're fixing one thing, but are we creating another problem? What's the opportunity cost in regards to using this tool? Those are things that we have to consider. AI adoption might not always consider the human impact, and you have to. What's the human side of implementation, and not just how we think it will help our efficiency? Because it might not. It might be a human cost that you're not willing to pay. Okay, number three. The third risk that I want you to pay attention to is loss of human connection. Using AI without talking to your team is a recipe for disaster. It's like installing autopilot on an aircraft and just walking off. Hey, we're going to trust this mechanical tool to do everything, this automation to do everything. Now, they do have autopilots on airplanes. My family has been involved in aviation. My daughter's a flight attendant. That's our involvement. No, actually, I've had some people that actually have been pilots. I was in the Air Force myself. So there is an autopilot on the plane, but none of us just get on the plane and want to see no one in the cockpit. We still need human beings. So that loss of human connection is an important consideration. You still need people. Even if you have a burger flipping robot, someone needs to fix that burger flipping robot. Someone needs to be there in case a fire or something breaks out. Someone needs to be there to do quality control. Machines can do a lot, but they can't do everything. Also, leaders, we risk disengagement if AI eliminates meaningful conversations, mentorships, and even other forms of recognition that naturally occur in the workplace. We haven't got to the place where we have 100% autonomous workplaces. We still have human beings that we have to manage and engage with. So there can be a loss of human connection the more automated that we get. And think about this. There's a big push now for return to the office, right, by some organizations, because we need to be together. We need to make decisions. We need to have that human connection with us in order to be efficient. That's the claim. That should be the same claim, then the same energy that we bring when we think about AI in the workplace. Engagement is tied to a sense of belonging. And so AI ultimately should enhance, not replace human interaction. It should allow us to be more creative, to bring us together in ways where we can focus on the main goals. AI can do the repetitive tasks, but the creative, the visioning needs to happen with human beings. So don't forget that. Number 4, we risk instituting skills gaps and inequity. A Brookings study said that generative AI could disproportionately affect mid-level workers. Because of the automation pressures, this may actually widen gaps in training and growth opportunities. So there will still be a human aspect to work, right? We won't escape that. We still need people. You still need people. You can't totally automate everything, but there will be some automation that will replace people at the lower levels. But also when we turn these tasks and processes over to the computer, the machine, and then if something goes wrong, who in the workplace will have the skills to continue to execute the mission? Who? Think about that. How many of you have been in a store when the registers go down? There's a computer glitch. Now, it doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, there's usually chaos. We can't sell you anything. We can't check you out. We have no way to take your money. Those things will occur with more frequency the more we automate. Why? Because disruptions happen. Whereas a human being can adapt and can change and can respond on the fly, the computer will only do what it's told. Even the generative AI will be limited in its flexibility to respond to unknown disruptions. You need people for that. And if we continue to displace people will still be a part of some industry, but they're going to reskill in other areas where they're needed more. And so eventually we will have a skills gap, which kind of creates this circular, I don't know, maybe self-fulfilling prophecy that, hey, we need more AI. Why? Because we don't have enough people. We don't have enough skilled people. We don't have enough skilled people because you got rid of the skilled people and utilize AI to replace them. So now you need more AI because you have less people. So I don't know. I don't know how all these things will eventually play out, but it's something that we need to think about. How will we develop the skills workers that we need? What tasks should we outsource? And how do we plan for disruption? Those are questions that we have to think about when we are automating and we're bringing more AI type tools into the workplace. Part of your AI strategy should be to embed continuous upskilling programs to work alongside the AI, and even helping people to understand how to utilize AI better. You have to train people how to use these tools in an effective and efficient manner. It just doesn't happen. We're We're on the cutting edge of some of these technological advances, and we have to ensure that people have the right training in order to utilize AI to the best of its potential. You still need that human element. And the fifth thing that I want you to pay attention to is a breakdown in trust. This is just like any new initiative in the workplace. You have to start by building trust. Anytime you want to make a change in an organization, whether it's AI, whether it's a new payroll procedures, whether it's new construction, you need to inform your team of what's going on and help them understand their place in the change. And so if employees don't understand why AI is being used, they may distrust leadership decisions. Oh, they're just trying to get rid of me. Oh, they don't think I'm doing a good job. Oh, they think this computer is better than me. Oh, they're being cheap. I'm not going to get a raise because now we have AI. I'm less competitive. All of these things go through people's minds in the workplace. The National Institute of Health says that lack of transparency in algorithmic decision making to leads to reduced employee morale and higher stress. So AI can actually be stressing folks out because they think they're going to get replaced by the machine. How do you eliminate that? How do you alleviate that? Maybe I should say that. How do you alleviate that lack of trust, that trust breakdown? You really have to work at creating open communication channels, explaining AI's role in the workplace, and involve your employees in the design and testing of these new initiatives. Get people on board. We still have to deal with human beings even during the rise of AI. So just to recap, AI can be a very powerful tool, but if we mishandle the implementation of it, it can really wreak havoc on employee engagement. Make sure you're mindful of hidden workloads associated with AI, which can lead to burnout, a loss of human connection, a widening of the skills gap, and even a breakdown of trust. Those are some of the things that you need to watch as you bring in more and more AI tools. Well, hey, if you found this helpful, I do want to let you know that I have a tool available to you. It's called Automation Without Alienation. There is a link in the description. Check that out. Download that as you embark on your automation journey. I don't know where you are in the process. Maybe you've done some things wrong. Maybe you've done a lot of things right. But hopefully these 5 risks are things that you're paying attention to on an ongoing basis as our workplaces become more and more automated, as there are more and more tools that we can use to hopefully make our jobs easier so that we can focus on more important and more substantial work. We can let AI do some of the repetitive things, maybe even get the computer systems talking to each other, and let us as human beings focus on the creative things and engaging other human beings as we do our work. Well, thank you for joining me today. My name is Glen Guyton, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget, the future is what we make of it. Y'all have a great day.